Oh my goodness. Hello. We're here. We're here. We're here. How are we doing? Hi. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to be with you all. How exciting is this? And in true showbiz style, we had a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning, hence the reason why we're just a bit late. Mr. Eduardo is here. Hi, Eduardo. And he had a power outage, so we were just waiting to get on. So thank you so much for refreshing. Thank you so much for coming back here. Thank you so much for checking us out in all the spaces and on all the places. All right. As I settle myself and get myself grounded, let's do the official thing. Welcome to the Sovereign Soul and welcome to Spanglish World Networks on Zingo TV, channel 250 and 251. I want to give you a quick reminder that you need to go download the Zingo TV app on your mobile and TV devices. You can find Zingo TV on your respective app stores, iOS and Android devices. And while you're downloading, we're going to need you to give us a rating. We're going to need you to give us a comment because we want to know how we're doing, right? This app is absolutely free. Zingo TV is also available on Google Chrome, Amazon Fire Sticks, Roku Fire Sticks, and also on all smart TVs 2016 and forward. Can we just take a moment to breathe? Can we just take a moment to be here in the room together? Wow. I am so freaking pumped to welcome you to today's episode. I'm your host, Jacqueline Hopper. And if you don't know me, you're going to get to know a lot about me today. That I am a self mastery guide, an energy healer, and a best-selling author. My mission in this world and my purpose is to support as many people as I can with strengthening their intuition, developing their psychic abilities, and expanding their healing abilities as well. I'm supporting thousands and now millions. And today I get to support you. It's an honor, it's a privilege, and it's one that I absolutely do not take lightly. Today's our first TV episode here on Zingo TV, but it is also our first episode for the Sovereign Soul podcast, which is entering its third season. Like, what? What an evolution and what an upgrade, right? It's so good. I want to welcome everyone in the audience. As you guys are tuning in, make sure you say hello. Hey, Miss Jerry, how you doing? We are going to have so many audience members joining us because we're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on LinkedIn, we're streaming on Twitter. I know I'm forgetting some YouTube. How can I forget YouTube? We're streaming in all the places. And when you join me live on those social media platforms, you can also participate as an audience member. And at the end of this show, are you ready? Because I can't just show up and do this new thing and be nervous in and of itself. I'm just going to just upgrade my experience here and tell you I will be taking questions. So if you come and join us and you have questions, you can post them. And my producer, Eduardo, is going to do his best to get as many of you seen so that we can channel for you at the end of the show. It's going to be so good. I also want to thank you for being here, for your support. I need to take a moment to and thank Jackie Team. Jackie Team's been here behind the scenes supporting every single step of the way. So Jackie Team, Farhana, Loren, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. We have a giveaway happening. Yes, ta-da! For those of you watching, we have a giveaway happening to celebrate our first episode. When you snap a picture of yourself watching me, either on your mobile device, on your streaming devices, you're going to be entered in to win a copy of my book, Becoming, a Journey to Discovering Inner Peace. I'm going to sign it for you, specialize it just for you. You're also going to get a free copy of my meditation album, Expanding the Light Within. But you got to make sure that you send me a picture of you watching me right now. Jeez. And that you tag me and give a like and follow to Spanglish World Network as well. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is just, oh gosh, I sat this morning in my nerves and wondered how I could give you the most epic episode to start us off, to really get you warmed up with me, to really get you seen, to help you feel the mission here that's in the room, because spirit is so here and so present and so excited really to experience this through me with you. I think that's a really big thing that I need you to know is that spirit is with us all of the time. It's within us, it's around us, and it wants to experience this with you. And so those exhilarating feelings that you get are often inner being produced. And spirit gets to experience us as humans as we have these really big moments. So I thought in the shower, TMI, but I thought in the shower, what do I, spirit, come through? Do not let this ego of mine get in the way because there's so many things I want to tell you. But what is it that's best right now to give you? How do we open this up? How do you feel my heart? How do you receive from me the most that you can uh, in the way of spirit? And here's what I've got. Today, I want to tell you a story about the evolution of love, about the evolution of you. Now, this is my story, a story that I created, a story that I created with spirit. It's not perfection. It's not depicted in a book, okay? And it is my version of translation. So please take this as the story that I, the author, want to give you. And if it resonates with you, I want to hear about it. If you're like, girl, I'm gonna need a little bit of clarification around what you just said, please. I am open. I am open. I take nothing personally because you can't personally attack me, right? So your thoughts are your thoughts, and I'm going to honor those thoughts. And mine, we're going to create a platform here where we get to share those as well with only the intention of expanding you, with only the intention of delivering you as much love and positivity as I possibly can. So back to my story. I want to talk to you about the story of the soul. Um, Imagine a place, a state of being, really, of just pure happiness, joy, love, playfulness. Okay. But this place has no taste, it has no smell, it has no touching, it has no sight with the eyes, can't hear. None of that exists in this space. It's just this beingness. Okay. When we sit and we meditate, we have the advantage of getting back to this beingness, right? While you're still in a human body. But without the body, that's what you would be your energy, beingness of love, of playfulness, of joy. You can't expand love in this state because you just are love in this state. You must have something that ignites this expansion. And that's what the soul decided it would embark on when it became a spirit in a body here on earth. Okay. When we decided to become human, we decided to create an experience for ourselves that would help us learn. And by learning, we knew we would expand love. So we crafted the most epic life that we could possibly have. We designed the suit. I designed mine pretty well. And we also knew but forgot we would have an ego. An ego would be this personalized aspect of us that would keep us safe. It was designed to keep us safe. So we didn't eat something that was going to kill us, so that we didn't go down that dark alley where the bear was. Like it was designed to keep us safe. But when we got here, we realized it was a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be. And at times it drowns out the aspect of us that is pure light, pure love. And so we knew that this was going to come also with the ability to feel and express through our feelings, to be able to, sit with a being and express love, not just in energy, but with our God sparks, our voices, with our arms as we hold, with our wombs as we give birth. We would express love in this experience in many ways, in many, many, many ways. Now, we also knew that at the end of this earth experience, we knew what we would be going back to: beingness, consciousness, love. But to grow us and to grow our soul, what we knew is that we needed to come to Earth School for contrast, for duality. And this space was going to be uncomfortable. This space was going to come with a bit of confusion. And I like to say that as we got here, we were so pumped. Like, picture this, picture this. We've all done some investing. I'm going to say investing, right, in our lives. If you're, we were all children at some point. We all had parents. So let's use that as the example. We went to our parents and we said, listen, if you buy this car for me, this is what I'm going to be able to do for you. I'm going to be able to take my twin brothers and my other brother to school. This would be Loren. I'm going to take my brothers to school. I'm going to pick my brothers up from school. I'm going to be able to get your Starbucks when you need it, Mom. I'm going to be able to go to Chipotle. Chipotle is my life. And I'm going to be able to get you lunch every day if you buy me this car. This is all the wonderful things I'm going to be able to do for you. What do you say? Are you on board? Right? Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Give me some hearts, some things in the comments here if you're with me still. Everybody knows this scenario, whether you yourself was that child going to the parent and saying, hey, this is what I'm going to need from you, and this is what I'm going to do for you if you do this for me, right? Or perhaps you have that child, I have a few, that come to you with these opportunities, right? We got opportunities here. That's kind of how I see it when we went to God and we said to God or the divine, Allah, whomever you go to. The soul said, listen, I'm going to go down there to earth. I'm going to set it up perfectly. I'm going to go with the purpose of doing this. I'm going to go with the purpose of being here. And I'm going to go with these two as my parents, these four as my kids, this one as my partner. We're going to joke here. I send love to Kevin. This one is my partner that I'm going to marry. I'm going to divorce him. I'm going to marry him again. And I'm going to divorce him one more time. But you know what? We're on board. He shook on it. Yay, us. We knew what we were doing up there. And we said to that presence of beingness, if you'll have me as an extension of you, I'm going to go down. And I'm going to do this life so good. I'm going to do this life to such a degree of expanding love that when it's said and done and I croak, I'm going to be expanding the universe in this great way. Okay? And the presence, the divine, the I am, God, source, universe said, that sounds freaking that's awesome. Cool. So I got my spirit backpack on. My intuition was packed. My psychic gifts were packed. We all did this. We all did this. My story, we all did this. We all do this. Okay. My healing abilities, the power to heal myself, the power to balance myself, the power to work energy, the power to feel it, see it, sense it, do it, all the things. I got this in my backpack and I went down the chute. And then at some point I went, oh my God, WTF. Whoa, I did not sign up for this. Where's the contract? Fine print. You're going to forget what you were doing. And you were going to spend this life's experience remembering it. Right? Jackie, prove it. Okay, cool. Let me do that for you. Have you ever met someone and you're like, God, I feel like I've known you all my life? Have you ever had, if you're a mom, you had that experience with your child where you're like, I didn't know I could love you this much, even when you piss me off, right? Have you ever had that experience where you're like, I know I've done this before. I've been here before. It's deja vu. This is how you know that this is something that's been more constructed and orchestrated for you than you believe it to be. But let's get back to this. Let's get back to the story. We get here and we're like, what the hell? I chose this? No, I didn't. Show me where I chose it. And at some point we come to this understanding, right? But what we knew and what I will bring people back to over and over and over and over and over and over and over again is that we were sovereign, right? We had dominion over what we thought about, what we loved. We knew we had sovereignty and that sovereignty was never questioned to the universe. The universe knew you were whole, You are perfect. You are complete. Nothing outside of you can complete you. You are already divine. You are already lovable. You are already worth it simply because you are a spirit in a body. You are already enough. Insert ego here. This thing called life can create fear. This thing called life can create anxiety. This thing called life can make it confusing. And we lose sight of this because this feels so real. My belief is that the universe is completely full of itself. It's full of itself. And as an expression of the universe, I too can be full of myself. Stay with me. The universe is full of only one thing. It knows, resonates, and vibrates at only one frequency, and that is love. That's it. If I am a divine expression, if God said, let there be light, poof, here we all are. Made in God's image, poof, here we all are. Well, what were we made of? Love. When do you feel most at ease? When do you feel most peaceful within your being? When you are a balanced, aligned expression of love. Everything else seems to fade away. It's in that moment that you reach divine perfection one more time. Is it fleeting? Hell yeah, I'm going to give it to you. You're in Earth school, people. Like, come on, you're going to need to sharpen your pencil more than once. You came for contrast. You came for duality. And the universe set it up in such a magnificent way that it said, you will go there, you will realize the contrast in the duality. And all that that will symbolize is that there is a lack of love. And if you can remind yourself in those moments when we're lacking a little bit of love, that what's going to bring us back into alignment and balance is to express love. How do we do that? We all have our own unique ways of doing that. My belief, hashtag Jackie's opinion, every act of violence and every act of war and every act of terrorism and every act of trauma is a act of or disalignment from love. Because it is in those moments when those things take place that we as a collective, humanity, we come together. Why do we come together? When two or more are gathered, there I go. Spirit comes together to amplify the energy of love. And in that presence of other beings, working towards the healing of what has occurred, we can see, sense, feel, and even vibrate at a higher vibration towards love. We see it over and over and over and over and over again. Now, as this, I'm going to continue with the story. As this experience takes place, Earth School, it grows the soul by learning. We're never going to see the end of the universe because we're never going to see the end of us, right? The more that we come down, and we do, more and more and more souls coming down all the time. The more that we come down and the more that we learn, the more that we expand. And the more that we expand, the bigger that we become. And the bigger that we become, there's no end of the universe because of this. And when we are done and we go back to this collective, we have all this value to give back to it. Now think about this. How many humans are present at the moment? All around the world. Trillions. There's probably not even a word made up for how many people are here yet. But all of these unique, individualized expressions of one source. Think about it. All these trillions of people, not one's created the same. Not one looks the same. Not one's made up the same. Because you weren't made to be like everyone else. You were made to be you. When you recognize the power in just that, You carry yourself differently. Our shoulders go back. God didn't create another version. God created one version. What you see is what you get. Now, mind you, there may be other people journeying on similar paths, but they will never be identical. The purpose we knew would be to mingle amongst ourselves because spirits within each other, and that along the way we would have people that would come along to help us remember who we are, to help us remember why we're here, to help us get back on the path that we are meant to be on. But we weren't just going to come up against the people, right? God's so good. The universe is so divinely perfected. It is the only thing perfected that it said, I am not just going to send that child, that light of mine down there with her backpack. I need guides, angels, and you name it, we go on from there. There's celestials, there's stars, there's a whole bunch of energy. We're going to send you with a team. Everyone has a team. Everyone has a team. Some of your team is made up of deceased and departed loved ones, ancestors that have walked before you. Think of it. All the wisdom, all the knowledge. Some of us in the physical world, we go to the library, pull the book up off the shelf, and we read about something to learn something. But did you know you possess your own library of wisdom? And that's passed down in your bones, in your cellular. Like it's in your marrow, who you are, what you need. Everything's within you. And you have access to it. Some of us know and how we gain access regularly. Some of us are still figuring this out perfectly fine. Some of us don't know, and that's okay. Whether we come to the knowing of it or not, that's okay. I think the world would be such a different place if we stopped being judgy around where everybody is at whatever time of the day it is, with whatever religion or spirituality that they are leaning into. What if we just let everybody be? And what if their beingness was perfect right there for what it was doing? What if we stopped becoming empathic? Here we go, no hate mail, people. Became more compassionate. See, empaths, they meet at the level that that person's at. I hear you and I feel you. And that sadness you're experiencing, I'm experiencing it too. That's the empathic way, right? We work there. It's good. It's good and maintain like pulling in somebody's energy, feeling where they're at, using the empathic space to do that. Awesome, but that can deplete us rather quickly. It can confuse us. Is this my energy? Or is this somebody else's energy? It can also harm us. Why am I always feeling like insert whatever emotion here? If we took a non judgmental, compassionate way with each other, compassion meaning I want for you what you want for you. I might not resonate with it, but I want for you what you want for you. I'm going to love you for wherever you're at without judging you because where you are is where you're supposed to be. You can't be anywhere else. You can't. And there's no, in my world, such thing as being stuck. In my world, I don't believe you go backwards. I have a life symbol. It's the arrow because I only go forwards. And I believe that we only go forwards. And if there was something we were meant to pick up, the universe is working in our favor all of the time to put us where we need to be. How beautiful is that? What an amazing thing to lean into. The universe is working in my favor at all times. It can't not. You are an individualized expression of it. It can't cut itself off. It just can't. No matter how far you wander, right? This being within you connected to the divine is going to say, hey, girl, you better come over here. All of the time. And it's something I rest in, thank God. Because if you think lost is lost, you've got no clue what it could look like if we were truly disconnected from the divine. As an expression of it, we can love one another for where each other are. instead of bringing judgment in, instead of bringing comparison in, instead of the jealousy, which I use as comparing my blessings to yours or vice versa. If we could recognize that we're all in it together, that your win is my win and that my win is your win. That's why we started this off with gratitude. I didn't get here by myself. No, there have been so many incredible, influential people, and there has been such an immense amount of following. You could see them right here if you could see them right here. Like, we've got Beverly here, we've got Carrie here, we've got Karan here, we have Alicia here, Jerry's here, Kayla's here, Loren's here. Like, we have these people. And there's Rochelle. Hey. Like, we have these people that support us and help us remember who we are. We need each other. We've got to work towards not cutting each other off. We do that with the simple mindedness of comparison and jealousy and being judgmental. Everyone is where they're supposed to be. Everyone is uniquely timed, divinely timed, and uniquely present and placed appropriately. Right? Okay. So back to the guides, shall we? Because I know that this is an interest, it's something that everybody's interested in. I get questions on this all of the time, which, by the way, if you're someone with questions as you watch this, as you watch the replay, make sure you visit Instagram. The Sovereign Soul has its own Instagram these days. Woo, it is here. And you can submit your questions over there, and we will make sure that they get aired here on the Spanglish World Network, her TV. So, guides. I have been connected with my guide since my spiritual journey began, which was in 2010, 2011. I had what we call a dark night of the soul. Here's the team going, whoa, you're using words people might not know. Let me define this for you. A dark night of the soul is often looked at rock bottom. It's often looked like a coming to Jesus moment, although Jesus is like, I don't do that, but it's okay. We have this moment where we start to question everything. What the hell is going on? What's the purpose? What's the game plan here? And I had that moment. And I remember calling God or whatever you are out. If you're up there on this throne getting a kick out of what's going on down here with me, like, you're cruel. This is ridiculous. Move me. Move me, I said. And it sure did. 2 weeks later, it literally moved me from New York to Colorado Springs with my family. Okay. I was consuming as much as I could when I started leaning into the idea that I wasn't alone and that I did have guides. I would drive with my guide in the passenger seat. It would be so fun. And, we would have conversations. I think at the beginning, it was more me venting than having conversations. We got there, thank God. But it was venting for a little while. But I would read as much as I could about the universe. I would read as much as I could about spirituality because I was raised Catholic and I'm down for it all. Not all of it, though. There are some things that got misunderstood. There's been things that have been taken way too far. And there's this fear energy that's been placed that just doesn't need to be there. But spirituality is simply the belief that something bigger than you exists and that that thing is just love. And so I wanted to know more about it. I want to have my own spiritual experience. And so I would consume as much as I could. And I'm talking an array, a rainbow. Colette Baron Reed, who I got to work with. She's an incredible soul. Oprah, I mean, goals right here. We're going to have the Sovereign Soul Sunday here soon once we get our ratings up and all of the things, trust and belief, because such an impression and such an impact was made watching these women move in their spaces. To be able to even attempt, which is what we're doing here, mind blowing. But I would also read T.D. Jakes. Shout out to T.D. Jakes and Sarah Roberts Jakes. I would read Joel Osteen. I would read Michael Beckwith, who, mark the date, mark the time, mark the place. I will have Michael Beckwith on this show. I'll have Mr. Joe Dispenza on this show. These energies are we're just putting our stuff out there. Just we're tapping them energetically on their energetic shoulder right now, like, hey, what do you say? We're gonna get there, I promise. But when I couldn't consume any more Gabby Bernstein, when I couldn't consume any more Abraham Hicks, I wanted to know what was it for me. That was all them. Inspiration as it was all them. It was all their stuff, their work, their connection. Where was mine? And I remember being in meditation one morning and just declaring I wanted my guide. I wanted who was present in the space right now to make its presence known. I want to know who you are, what you do, what we're doing here, like all the things. I got some questions, is what we did. And I remember it was Colorado Springs, and I had crafted this little space of my own in this beautiful house that we had. I was sitting in the dark, and I said, at the time, Kevin, my husband, we showed up to Fort Carson and they didn't even know we were coming. And so he wasn't entered into the system. We got no house goods for weeks. We had no money because he wasn't entered into the system. And we were all a family at that time of four, like looking at each other. We're going to get through this. It's going to be fine. It's a very big, 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 big moment. And I remember asking Spirit, what would my finances look like in the future? Because this was hard. It was hard. What would finances look like in the future? And very clearly, I heard Mom spelled upside down as wow. Now, if this is hitting you like it hit me, I actually grabbed a piece of paper and did the damn thing because I was, what? Not a thought I would think. Mom spelled upside down as wow. And I remember this thought, this feeling, this moment when Spirit was in the room. And it wasn't me. We don't put things like that. We don't make things like that, right? I remember finding out I was pregnant while we moved from Colorado Springs to Wisconsin. And as we switched bases, we also had to switch primary care people. And as I was going, I knew I was pregnant. I needed a sonogram. Something was different about this. It didn't present like the other pregnancies. Like, what's going on here? As I drove, I had my first clairvoyant experience. I looked in the mirror in my minivan, and there were two car seats in the captain's chairs. And I went, girl, who would do that to them? No, whoa, hang on a minute. What was that? And I remember getting there going, I need the stick, like, real quick. Can you find out what's going on? Because I don't feel good and everything's bigger than it should be. Like, what the hell? And yeah, she said, what's your family history? Meanwhile, nobody in the family had an inkling. I called home and Mom was like, no. Mom, I'm pregnant with twins. What? No. Mom, I'm pregnant with twins. No. Seriously? Mom, do you want to come on right now and meet the technician that's got the scope? Like, do you? No. Really? Meanwhile, she was busy in the office that day, and I had to really like insist on talking to her. My husband at the time, you're lying. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? To me, to you, to us? Why would I do that? Nobody believed it. And this clairvoyant experience was the biggest surprise for me. The biggest surprise for me because I knew it before I got there. I saw it before it happened. And this is when I started realizing there's a lot of happening right now. And I just need to be present with this. I need to be calling this out. And so if you're someone that's starting to really feel this conversation, become aware of the signs, the synchronicities, the happenings, the deja vus, all the things, because Spirit's going to start. You're in the room with me right now. You're in the room with me right now. You can't help but have stuff start happening when you're in the room with me. And as you start putting things together, having things brought to your attention, signs coming up, all the things, as this stuff starts happening for you, you're going to want to say, like I did to my guides, I do it all the time. High five. That was awesome. I acknowledge it's not me. I say, thank you for coming through. I go, I see you. I see you. So there's no longer books to consume. There's no longer teachers to go to. What do? I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I found this woman doing exactly what I wanted to do. And I reached out and said, hey, I want to have a conversation. I want to talk about this. And it led to developing a business. It led to developing a business. I wanted to affect the life of one person. Here we are today, Spanglish World Network, It's out there to millions of people. But I wanted to affect the life of one person. And so I started opening myself up and supporting other people through psychic work, through intuitive work, through healing work. And this is a business that's been going on for 8 years now, multiple six figures. We've been all over the world. We support people in many different ways. P.S. There's a QR code right there at the bottom of your screen. You're going to want to scan it because it's going to get you linked up with me in all the ways possible. But what I want to remind you of is that all of this happened because I chose to question what else was there. I chose through courage, call it faith, call it just a divine intervention. I chose to believe there had to be something different. There had to be something more. And it opened up the door to such an incredible awareness of just how much is there and of just how much more there is, there will be. In 2017, I had an amazing opportunity. It was actually 2018, wasn't it? 2017, we started business. 2018, we had an amazing opportunity to go to London, cross the pond, as they say. Shout out to all my London peeps, my UK friends, and host a retreat. After that one, we got to jet over to Paris and have a business experience over there. And I remember before going, I had this massive collective energy come in. And what that looks like basically is this big ball of energy. And as you lean in, it started to present what its purpose was to support me with. Now, you can go to a lot of different channels and you're going to be able to see channels, meaning people that do what I do, psychic work. They channel an energy, a presence. Some will just call it spirit, and that's cool. I know mine by name. And I help my clients know them by name because if you're like me and everybody coming to me likes to be like me, you want to know who you're talking to. I want to have accountability for where I got that information. I want to have accountability for where I'm asking for the manifestation of something to occur, like Roman, who's my primary guide. Zeta is a collective energy of 64 beings, and what they do is soul growth and expansion. And they went on to lend so much wisdom in these retreats to help people understand that there is so much more within them, that when you guide yourself back to it, you begin to have a knowing of your own presence. When we have a knowing of our own presence, everything starts to become internalized rather than an external experience. We start to have this sight, its inner sight, of this all being a show. You hear stuff say life's a stage, and everybody else is a prop or a participant, right? You're the lead. And it's very true. It is the most accurate depiction of what this is that I could possibly give. When you are internal, you hold power. When you hold power, you get to choose free will. God gave it to you on the planet when you came here. It was part of the backpack. Parting gifts, free will, there you go, right? You get to choose. And in this life's experience, you're going to get to choose to believe that something greater than you exists and it's working for you, or you get to choose if you're a victim to this experience and shit's just going to pop off at any given time and you just don't know. So it's kind of like, hey, buckle up, buttercup. I choose to believe that there's something greater than me working on my behalf, supporting me with where I want to go, supporting me with the receiving of what I want to have, and helping me manifest the most epic freaking life. And because I chose that, that's exactly what I have. And it's something that this group of energy comes forward to support the realizing and the understanding of it for everybody else. Because there's nothing special about me, aside from the fact that there's no one else like me. But there's nothing special about what I do. Everyone can do it. Everyone already does do it. How many people walk into a room and you're like, oh, this is going to be a crazy bunch? Or, oh, I don't know that I feel good right here, right now. This is you being intuitive and picking up energy. You're translating it through your body. Everybody does that. And yet this is like a foreign concept. Get out of here. No way. Yeah. Deja vu is a psychic thing. You're right where you're supposed to be at the right perfect time. Like if you have that, And we had many people say, "Oh, yeah, that's me." Yeah. Daily I have this, Jerry says. Daily. Yeah. You're right where you're supposed to be. Everyone has it. Everyone's got a team. Everyone can tune into said team. Everyone can connect to said team. And everyone can have this unique experience for themselves because that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Do we want to shift the energy of this planet? Do we want to raise the vibration of where like humanness sits right now? Because I don't know about you, but I have some concerns. Not just for me, not just for you, but for my little ones. And they're stepping forth. I was saying it to Eduardo on our show on Friday. They're coming forth with some big impact. They're coming forth with some big realizations, right? And it's so on time and it's so purposeful. So I want to end this just a little bit, because I want to take your questions. We have some time to take questions. Okay. I want to make sure that you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel understood. When you post your questions, make sure it's specific. Everybody that follows me, you know I like specific questions. If you have specific questions about what we talked about, post it. About what you're struggling with right now, please let me hold some space for you so we can get you what you need before we end this program. Get them right there in the comments right now. I want to start looking at some of the comments that have come through. I was so in the zone that I know Eduardo put some things up there, but I'm reading, but I'm not reading. I want to make sure also that I shout out the ones that are joining because it means a lot that you're here as an active participant of the episode out in the audience. You're the audience until we're in person, loving on you in person. You are my audience. So shout out. Jerry says, I have deja vu almost daily. Yes. Alicia says, all the time. So good. Let's see. This is so good. I needed this. Gabby, how are you? I've been there, Rochelle says. Yes. And it's beautiful because this is just a conversation right here, right now, that brings us together in the room. There's only light in this room. And if anybody came in that had the intention of spicing things up, you can't remain in that energy for long because you roll your eyes and you exit. This woman's crazy. I'm out of here, right? Well, that's kind of how energy does its thing, right? So, yeah, we've all been there. Jackie, this is so good as always. Megan, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's so good. This is epic, Jackie. Suzanne's in the room. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know where the delay might be. There might just be, or maybe you don't have questions, and that's totally okay as well. We never want to pressure people to feel like they have to put the business out there because you are. I mean, it's not just a Facebook Live anymore, folks. We're streaming on Roku. Did you take your picture yet? Because I want to be able to give away one of these books to you. Did you give your picture away? Did you tag us? Just saying, we're doing a giveaway. I want you to be a part of it. I think one of the biggest questions that people ask when they come into the space as a newbie is how can I learn more? I love, love, love tools that help us to understand ourselves more because self-development is the start of self-mastery. Self-development is the start of self-mastery. When you start developing the awareness of who you are, you can get on the path of mastering. Mastery has this word. It's this word that they chose. I didn't choose because I was like, I don't think I want to. And they're like, that's what we're going to be doing. So put it on the thing. Okay, fine. Mastery is not finite. It's not finalized. And anyone that claims mastery at some level that just is there and it ends, like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It's not a thing. This mastery is something that lives on. This mastery is something that continues. And it's you getting to not just know yourself, but to show up and live aligned with yourself. What you choose, what you love, what you desire. That's what's mastery about you. So this journey is going to be incredible. Meditation helps you. Journaling helps you. Okay. Oh, we've got questions now. I love that. Self-development is the start of self-mastery. Absolutely. Solid X Gray Fox. Hope you're doing well. Been making positive changes in my life by changing baby steps. One of the biggest problems is trying to get better is approaching people with an effective way by observing. Okay, I love this question, and I'm hoping I feel like I'm gonna give you something that you're gonna really resonate with, so I'm gonna give this to you. I feel like I can talk to you in my lingo. I don't have to dumb it down in any way because you are already present. You are already there. Solid gray fox. Here's my thing. You don't have to worry about approaching anything. You don't have to worry about approaching anything. That's the ego trying to say, I got to declare this. I got to pounce on this. I got to have this. I got to be this. I got to this. We don't have to do anything. Okay. When you make those positive changes for yourself, when you start coming into alignment with your light, your inner presence, that energy is going to vibrate so potently, you aren't going to have to make any type of approach. It's going to be seen, it's going to be felt, it's going to be heard. You will get those divine orchestrated happenings, synchronicities, opportunities, those divine meetings with the people that you need at the present or at the proper time in which you need it. So you don't have to worry about approaching anything. Yes. Awesome. Okay. I've got my warning. My producer's over here. Hello, Jackie. Let me give you this. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is just the start of amazing conversations, and I cannot freaking wait to have them more with you. We are going to be hosting Christina O'Roche Weiner next week. She's the Archangel Channel. So you're going to want to make sure that you tune in next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the same way, so that you can catch that episode. This show is also heard on Spanglish World Network. So make sure that you go check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and the programming. Spanglish World. You got to watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. From my heart to yours. I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye. Did we do good, Edward?